Today's lesson is word problems, still using system. So, number 1, you have a note sheet today to do it on. Number 1 says 2 pair of jeans and 3 shirts cost $133. 3 pair of jeans and 6 shirts cost $231. Find the cost of each pair of jeans and each shirt. All right, the first thing I want you to do is put x equals and y equals. X equals, y equals. Okay, what are we buying at the store today? What 2 things? Jeans and shirts. So let's do it in the order they give it to us. So we're going to let x be jeans and y be shirts. So write that down, please, on your paper. X is jeans and y is shirts. I always want you to do that step, please. X is jeans and Y is shirts. The next step you're going to do is you're going to set up 2 equations. You're going to set up 2 equations. So 2 pair of jeans is going to be 2x, because jeans is x, so 2x. And is going to be a plus 3y, because shirts we said was y. What are we going to put for cost? Equals 133. So that's my first equation. My second equation is 3x, because jeans is x, plus 6, shirts is y, equals 231. Okay. All right, now we get to have some fun. We actually get to solve it like we were doing yesterday. Is this a plug it in or a multiply, multiply, cancel, cancel? Multiply, multiply, cancel, cancel. I'm going to zoom in on the 3 and the 6. What can I multiply 3 by to turn into a 6? A 2, and it has to be negative because they're both positive right now. So we need one of them to be a negative. So we're going to multiply by negative 2 on the top one. All right, so negative 2 times 2 is negative 4x. I'm writing it underneath. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6y. And I'm going to come over here to the side and do 133 times 2. I'm going to have to do it on the side of my paper. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. I get negative 266. Okay. All right, so I draw my line. What symbol do I put out to the side? A plus. What is 3 plus negative 4? Negative 1. And the 6's cancel. For this, I'm going to use my chart. So 231 is positive. 266 is negative. I'm going to have to move it, lose it. I'm going to have to move it, lose it. What's 6 minus 1? 6 minus 3? And then those cancel. So I get negative 35. Negative 35. What do I do last? So x is 35. What did x stand for? Jeans. So 1 pair of jeans, this is a store, is $35. 1 pair of jeans is $35. Okay, the question said find the cost of each pair of jeans and shirts. So we have to find how much shirts are too. We do the same thing we did yesterday. We got to plug it in. You want to plug it into the top one or the bottom one? Top one. Those numbers are smaller. Okay, so I'm going to write a 2. I know what x is. What's x? So I'll put it in parentheses. Plus 3y equals 133. Okay. Okay, again, for 2 times 35, I got to come over to the side of my paper. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1, so I get 70. Plus 3y equals 133. Okay. All right, what number moves to the other side? So that's going to be 3, and 13 minus 7 would be 6. And divide by 3. Okay, again, 3 into 63. Some people are still having trouble with long division, which I know it can be tricky, but 3 goes into 6. How many times? 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. Gives you 0. Drop down your 3. 3 goes into 3 once. So you get 21. So a shirt is $21. Whew, I never stopped there. Questions? All right, you got this. Okay, number 2, a landscape company is having a tree sale. 5 maple trees and 6 ash trees are on sale for $83. 9 maple trees and 11 ash trees are on sale for $151. What is the cost of 1 ash tree? First thing I want you to do, please, 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 is put what X equals and Y equals. X equals and Y equals. Jeremy, what is X going to equal on this one? What kind of tree? And Y is going to be ash. Good. So that's my X and my Y. Riley M., what's my first equation going to be? Good. 5X, 6Y, cost $83. Good. So Mary, what would my next equation be? Okay. Is there anything I can multiply 5 by to turn into a 9? No. Is there anything I multiply 6 by to turn into 11? No. So I have to multiply both of them. Okay, do you want to do the 5 and 9 or 6 and 11? 5 and 9. So you just switch them. This one's going to have to be a 9. That one's going to have to be a 5. And one of them needs to be negative. Okay, 9 times 5, 45x. 9 times 6, 54. Ooh, and 83 times 9. I'm going to have to go to the side of my paper. 3 times 9 is 27. 8 times 9 is 72. Plus 2 more, 74. Yep, 747. Get some big numbers today. But we can do it. Negative 5 times 9. Negative 5 times 11. And 151 times 5 over here. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2. So you get 755. And 755 is what? Negative. Don't forget about that. All right, so you put your plus sign out front. Those cancel. What's 54 plus negative 55? Negative 1. We'll do my chart again. 747 is positive. 755 is negative. Move it, lose it. All right, I'm going to have to borrow. That's going to be a 4 and a 15. What's 15 minus 7? 8. 4 minus 4 is 0 and 0. So you get negative 8. Negative 8. And Riley K., what would you do next? And so Y is 8. All right, so Y was what, a maple or an ash tree? Okay, let's read the question. What did the actual question say? Have I answered that? All right, I'm not going to do any more work. You can if you want. Okay. Okay, number 3, the prom committee sells t-shirts to raise money for the prom. The profit from sales of 80 short sleeve shirts and 100 long sleeve t-shirts is $320. Profit from the sales of 80 short sleeve t-shirts and 75 long sleeve t-shirts are 270. How much do they profit? How much profit do they earn for each short sleeve t-shirt sale? Stephen R., what is X and Y going to be? What are the two things that we're selling? What are the two different kinds? And what's the other kind? Short. Okay, so I'm going to let Y be short and Y be long since that's the order they put it in. So X is short and Y is long. Make sure you write that step, please, what X and Y is. All right, Shakira, what do you think my first equation is going to be? Very good. Excellent. Brandon, what's my second equation? What do you notice about this one? There's two 80s. The problem is they're both positive, so we need to multiply by -1. You want to do the top one or the bottom one? Multiply by -1 to turn it into a negative. So that gives me -80x, -75y, and -270. So that's not bad. That way you can turn it into a negative. All right, I'm going to write this top one underneath it. So that way they are lined up. All right, so I put my plus sign out here. -80 and +80 cancel. What's -75 and +100? +25, good. I'm going to do my chart for that to make sure I get it right. -270, +320. Move it, lose it. Got to borrow. I get +50. +50. Stephen A., what do you do next? Divide. And what does that give you, Stephen? All right, so 2, that's for Y. Elijah, is Y short or long? Long, so a long sleeve shirt, t-shirt, well, the profit they get is $2, so that's how much they're making off of it. What's the question asking? Oh, for short sleeve, so we got to go back. You want to do the top one or the bottom one? All right, so 80x, you got this, you can do it, plus 75. Do I know what Y is? It's 2 equals 270. All right, 75 times 2, go to the side of your paper and do it if you need to. 5 times 2 is 10, 14, 15. You get 150 right there. You get 150. Faith, what would I do next? I'd minus 150 over here. 0 minus 0 is 0. 7 minus 5 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. I get 120. And Hallie, what do you do last? Divide. Okay. This one has been on the exam before. Okay, and it is a fraction or a decimal, whichever way you want to look at it. 80 won't go into 120 evenly. Do y'all agree with that? Okay. We can reduce it. Well, we'll go into 120 and 80. 40. How many times will 40 go into 120? 40, 80, 120. 3 times. How many times will 40 go into 80? Twice. They will accept that. They'll accept that as the right answer on the exam. Okay. You could also write it as a decimal. Does anybody know what 3 over 2 is as a decimal? 2 goes into 3 how many times? Once. How much is left over? So it's 1.5 is another way to write it. And what is that as a decimal? 1.5. So either one of those answers they'll accept on the exam. Okay, 3 over 2 or 1.5. I've seen this one, it's not multiple choice. Okay, it's where you actually have to type in your answer. So you can type in 3/2 in the little box that they give you, or you can type in 1.5 in the box. It's on the computer. Okay. Number 4, a school group sells gift cards and gift wrap for a fundraiser. 4 cards and 2 gift wrap sell for $17. 40 cards and 16 gift wrap sell for $152. How much does each gift wrap cost? Chase, what I want you to do first. What is X and Y going to be on this one? All right, Jack, what's my first equation?
4x plus 2y equals 17.
Very good. Elijah, what's my second equation?
X plus 16y equals 1.
Okay, Ashley, what can I multiply by on this one? Good. Positive 10 or negative 10? Negative 10. You could also multiply the top one by what else? Negative 8. You would get the same answer. Okay, let's go ahead and go with negative 10. So multiply by negative 10, so it gives me negative 40x, negative 20y, and negative 170. All right, Madison, my 40s cancel. Madison, what about 16 and negative 20? Very good. And let's do our chart for that one. So, Madison, what would move? And would I add or subtract? So I got to borrow. That makes that a 6, makes that a 10. That gives me 8 and 1. Negative 18. Negative 18. All right, divide by negative 4. Does 4 go into 18? No, so it's another fraction. A negative over negative turns into a what? Positive. What will go into 18 and 4? 2. How many times does 2 go into 18? How many times does 2 go into 4? 2 times. So you could leave your answer like that. If you wanted to make a decimal, 2 goes into 9 4 times, and there's a half left over. So that would be 4.5. Okay, what is so this is y. So y is gift, so that's 9 over 2. That's 9 over 2 for the y. What's the question asking for? How much does gift wrap cost? Did we answer the question? Yes, so we can stop. We can stop. We found gift wrap. It's 9 over 2. I know that doesn't really make sense. How much does it really cost? Well, it costs $4.50, but they'll accept that as the answer. So I'm happy with that. Okay. All right, number 5, South Stokes High School Band Department sold adult tickets for $5 and student tickets for $2. They sold a total of 202 tickets, and they collected a total of 764. How many of each ticket did they sell? Okay, so this one's a little different. This one's a little different. We still start out doing X and Y. All right, Elijah, what do you think X and Y are going to be? Very good. So X is adult and Y student. So I'll give everybody a minute to write that down before I go any further. Okay, do you notice on this one, it doesn't have enough numbers to put them in like we did on the other ones? It's not set up nice and neat, okay? This one is going to be a money, money, money problem. So circle money, money, money. Circle your 3 money numbers. This is a money, money, money problem. Money, money, money. Okay, those 3 numbers go in the first equation, the money, money, money numbers. So 5 is for adult. What letter do we say adult was? X. So it's 5x plus 2 is for student, so that's 2y. And how much total money do I have? 764. So all the money numbers have to go in one equation. I only have one number left. Do y'all see that? I only have one number left. It's 202, and that's a total. So that has to go right there. 202 is a total, so it goes at the end. And there's no other numbers left. All you put is x plus y. That's all you put. All you put is x plus y. You don't put any numbers with the other one. That's all you put. Okay. All right. Now we're ready to solve it. So this is a multiply, multiply, cancel, cancel. Madison, what do you want to multiply? So you want to, she's focusing on the 2y and y. So what do we need to multiply the bottom one by? -2. Very good. Need to multiply the bottom one by -2. All right, Jack, what do you get when you multiply the bottom one by -2? Keep going.
Minus 2y equals -404.
Very good. And I'm going to write the top one underneath it. Okay. All right, Elijah, help me from there. Okay. I'm going to do my chart right here. So what happens on my chart? What do I need to do? Yep, always move the smaller one. And then once I move it, do I add or subtract? All right, so that gives me 0, 6, and 3. So I get 360. Get 360, positive 360. All right, divide by 3. It's not bad. It's not bad to do a long division. 3 goes into 3. 3 goes into 6. 2. And you have to keep going all the way to the end of the number. 3 goes into 0. 0. So you get 120. How many of each ticket do they sell? Well, we know they sold 120 adult tickets. We have to answer both of them on this time, but it's not too bad because we have an easy equation to plug into. Which one of these is pretty simple, the top one or the bottom one? The bottom one's really simple. It's just saying x plus y is 202. Well, I know x is 120. So the only number I have to move to the other side is what? 120. So you get 82. So it's really not that bad to plug into. So the student tickets are 80. They sold 120 adult tickets and 82 student tickets. Okay. All right, y'all are doing a fantastic job. Y'all are doing great. Okay, let's keep going. Number 6, in order to go on the senior trip, you must raise $400. You can earn $25 per hour tutoring math students. You can also earn $40 per hour working in a concession stand during football games. Your parents will only allow you to work 13 hours. How many hours do you need to spend working in the concession stand to earn money for your trip? Okay, what's the first thing we do? X and Y. X and Y. This one you're going to have to go back and read probably. Samaria, what are X and Y going to be? Say what X is again? Okay, so you're trying to raise money and you're doing two different things to raise money. What are the two different things you're doing to get money? Yeah. So tutor, X we'll say is tutor, and Y is the concessions. Okay. So it's always the two different things going on. What are you doing? What are the two things you're doing? So you're tutoring and concessions. Okay, so this is a money problem. Money. You've got $400, that's a money. You've got $40, that's money, and $25, which is money. So money. Where does the $400 go? After the equals. That's your total money. 400 goes before the equals. 25 is for tutoring. What letter did we say was tutoring? X, so it's 25X plus 40Y. Yes, Jack?
With these type of problems, we're finding like X and Y. Couldn't we find whichever one we want to do and then just go back and have the other one cancel out? Like.
Yes. Yes, you can. Okay. All right. What other number do we have left? 13. That is how much I'm total working. I'm working for 13 hours. Do I have any other numbers left? I put X plus Y. That's it. Okay, I'm going to pause. Okay, so in this case, 25 is the smaller number, so we would probably do that anyway. So we're going to multiply by negative 25 on the bottom. All right, Chase, what do you get when you multiply by negative 25? Do it on the side of your paper. You forgot to hold your place. You see what I'm saying? You get 325, negative 325. I'm going to write the top one underneath it. Did y'all get negative 325? Okay. All right, my x's cancel. Can anybody do that? Negative 25 and positive 40? Good. Positive 15. What about negative 325 and 400? Very good. Positive 75. Okay, for this one, I'm going to count by 15. So 15. Help me count my 15s. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. So 5. How many hours did you spend working in the concession stand? Well, Y is concession. So you spent 5 hours in the concession stand. 5 hours. Okay. Questions? All right, I know it's a long day. You don't need to write this down. We just need to talk about the 2 different words. You might know what word means add. We've talked about it before in this class. Sum. And for minus, difference. Okay. All right. Number 7, find the numbers whose sum is 33. The difference of 3 times the larger and twice the smaller is 29. Okay, almost done. So put X and Y. So in this case, we're trying to find 2 numbers. Does anyone know what they use to describe the 2 numbers? Very good. Smaller and larger. Which one do they use first? What word? So I'm going to put larger first. It doesn't matter, but I like to make my life a little easier to do it that way. X is larger and Y is smaller. So at first, it just says their sum is 33. I'm summing these two things. So sum means to add, and I'm adding X and Y. That's it. X plus Y equals 33. That's your first equation. X plus Y equals 33. That's how you write the sum, X plus Y. Okay. All right. This next one, when it says difference, you're going to have a subtraction sign right there in the middle. You're going to have a subtraction sign in the middle. Well, we're subtracting 3 times the larger. What letter are we using for larger? X. So we put 3x in front. And we're doing twice the smaller equals 29. All right, Elijah, help me from there. How do I solve that? Yes, multiply which one? By what? -3. You could also do it by +2. It doesn't matter. So I would get -3x, -3y, and -99. All right, put my plus sign out front. My x's cancel. What's -2y and -3y? I'm going to do my chart for that. So +29, -99, move it, lose it. So that gives me -70. And divide by -5. Has anybody done that yet? $14. Okay, so 14 is the smaller number. 14 is the smaller. Which equation is easier to plug it into, the top one or the bottom one? Definitely the top. X plus 14 equals 33. I'm plugging it into the top one, so you have to minus the 14, which gives you 19. So the larger number is 19. Okay. I'm tired, so I know y'all must be tired. These next 3 problems are, again, some of the harder ones. So sometimes in this class, we're rolling along, things are pretty doable, and then we hit some that are harder. These next 3 problems are a little bit harder. However, there are some of you who are making like 98s and 99 in this class, all right? So these are the problems that will be a little challenging, which is good. Everybody needs a challenge every now and then. If you struggle with these next 3 problems, that's okay. Okay, you can still make a good grade in this class if you don't master these next 3. Okay, but these are good challenge problems. The sum of 2 numbers is 15 less than twice the first number. Their difference is 5 less than twice the second number. Find the numbers. All right, are we ready? Ready? Here we go. What do you want X and Y to be? Anybody? First number and second number. Good. All right, even if you have trouble with these, please write them down. Even if you have trouble with them, write them down and see what we're doing up here. Okay, the first thing I read, the sum of the 2 numbers. So I'll write that X plus Y. X plus Y. So far, so good. Then I see this word is, so that's come back up to haunt us. What does is mean? Equals. 15 less than twice the first. Here we go. Less than always means to switch things around. Always means to switch things around. So you're actually going to do twice the first number, 2x, minus 15 is how you write that. 2x minus 15. Less than always has to switch around. Okay, that's the first equation. The second equation, their difference. So we write that as x minus y. We see an is, which is equals 5 less than twice the second. Well, less than means to do what? Subtract and switch. So it's twice the second. What letter is that? Y minus 5. Okay. Any questions on that? All right. We've got too many letters up here. We got too many letters. This 2x needs to come right over here, and we need to put them together. What happens when 2x crosses that line right there? It becomes minus 2x. What is 1x minus 2x? Negative 1x, and then the rest stays the same. So it's plus y equals negative 15. So that's the first equation after you move it. This 2y also has to move over here to this one. So positive 2y becomes negative 2y. All right, so the x stays the same. What about negative 1y and negative 2y? Negative 3y. And you're left with negative 5. The good news is, after you've done that, what do you notice? The x's cancel for you. So at least you get a break somewhere. So the x's cancel. What is 1 plus negative 3? Negative 2. And negative 15 and negative 5 is negative 20. What do we need to do right here, guys? And so y is 10. Y is 10. Okay, it says find the numbers. We have to find both of them. This is actually one, look up here. We've never done this before. Instead of plugging it into one of these, I'm going to plug it into one of these, which you're allowed to do. You want to plug it into the top one or the bottom one? So it'd be x minus 3, but I know what y is. What's y now? 10 equals negative 5. What's negative 3 times 10? Negative 30. You move it over here, it becomes positive 30. So what do you get for x? Very good, positive 25. So the first number is 25, the second number is 10. Okay. Questions? Okay. Number 9, the difference of two numbers is 9. Twice the smaller number is 5 less than the bigger numbers. Find the numbers. Brandon, what are x and y going to be? Good. Small and big. Excellent. Shakira, how would I write the difference of the two of them? X minus y. And on this one, it's just equals 9. That's it for the first one. X minus y equals 9. All right. The second equation, we have to read it in order. It says twice the smaller. So Stephen A., how do you write twice the smaller? Very good. 2x. Okay, so that's 2x. Then we see is. So we have to stop and put a equal sign. Good. 5 less than the bigger number. Anytime I see less than, I'm going to put an arrow because I have to switch it around. What letter are we using for the bigger number? Y minus 5. Okay, the top one's fine. The bottom one, something's out of place. What's out of place? The y. We move it over here. Positive y, when it crosses the line, becomes negative. So it's 2x minus y equals negative 5. Don't forget it's negative 5. You notice the y's would cancel if what? Very good. One was positive, one was negative. Excellent. So I'm just going to go ahead and multiply this top one by negative 1. So that gives me negative 1x, positive 1y, and negative 9. I multiplied this top one by negative 1 so that I'd have a negative and a positive. All right, Riley M., what do you get right here? And your y's cancel, and you get negative 14. So x is negative 14. So that's done. Thank you. And I have to plug it back in. Hallie, what do you? Where do you want to plug it back into? Right here or right there? This one? Okay. Okay, that would work. I'm going to do the top one just because it looks easier to me. So x is negative 14 minus y equals 9. What happens there? What do you do? Add your 14. That gives you 3. And you got negative 1y. What do you have to do last? Negative 23. Last one. We thought we'd never make it, but we did. The sum of two numbers is 8 more than twice the first. The difference of 4 less than twice. Their difference is 4 less than twice the second number. Find the numbers. Okay. Elijah, what are x and y going to be? Uh-huh. And y is going to be the second. Good. Okay. The sum of the two numbers, how do I write that? X plus y, thank you. Then I see is, so I have to hold up, stop, wait a minute. What do I have to do for is? Equals 8 more than, what do you think I do for that? Add twice the first number, so what's that? 2x, good, so that's my first equation. Their difference, that's my second equation, how do I write that? X minus y. Then I see is. Hold up, stop, wait a minute. What do I have to do for that? Equals 4 less than. Oh, every time you see less than, you have to switch things around. Twice the second, so that's 2y minus 4. Okay, here we go. 2x. Got to come over here, which makes it negative 2x. 1 minus 2 is going to be negative 1x plus y equals 8. On the bottom, 2y has to come over. So that's going to be x. Those are both negative, so that's negative 3y equals negative 4. The good news is, what happens? X's cancel, So I'm left with negative 2y equals 4. So y is negative 2. Y is negative 2. Okay, and I'm going to plug it in right there. That looks like the easiest equation up here. So negative 1x plus negative 2 equals 8. What moves there? Positive 2, so it becomes 10. You got to divide by negative 1. X is negative 10.